Morning everybody at my house. It is almost 11 a.m. Reporting from my house. No, that's not my house, that's my summer tent that we use for sitting in and enjoying food and drinks and kids' swimming pool. That's just one of their pools. They have a much bigger one that fits in the back of the yard out there. But as you can see, it's a very cloudy day with the typhoon coming, so I'm just going to prepare for that. And one of the things I've got to do is take this tent down. The kids' pool is upside down, drying out, so I've got to take this tent down. It's what they call a one-touch tent, and usually it takes at least 2 people to take it down. I've got these support braces on each corner. They sit behind the frame right there, and it gives a bit of support to the tent. I can shake it around. Look, it's not going anywhere. It's pinned down into the ground, but although it can withstand the wind, I'm not going to risk it with the typhoon. And yeah, I've got this plastic turf down because it's just too expensive to put real turf down. And we had the big pool out here a couple of times, and you can see where all the plastic turf was worn out with the kids running around barefoot. So I've got some more plastic turf on order. Once the weather's died down a bit and a bit calmer, a bit cooler, I'll be out there fixing all that and patching up some holes that have sunk into the ground over there. Bought some little trees about 3 months ago. They're very slow growing, but unfortunately that one over there looks like it is dying off, which is very sad. Anyway, let's get back to pulling this tent down, and we're just going to temporarily store it in the sunroom right here. This is the sunroom that Marika had built onto the house when we bought the house. It's pretty small by comparison to a lot of houses around here, but at the same time it's got a lot more space than your average Japanese house. The garden shed right there. So we use the sunroom to put our laundry in. A balcony up there that we don't really use for much. And a very big yard. So I think it's about 98 square meters total. And we have barbecues out here sometimes. We didn't do any barbecues out here this summer, it's just been way too hot. But for now, I'm going to try and attempt to take down this tent and just store it in there. So stick with me for a bit, will you? Just had to take the pool out because even though it was upside down, it was wet on the inside with condensation. Take out the ground pegs. You can just use these to pull out all the other ones. It's going to help if I actually take out all the stuff that's inside first and store it. Quickly show you guys. This is the string that I had tied to 4 corners to keep it a bit more stable. But this string does not fare well in the weather. It doesn't last very long at all. It's very cheap. So it gets hot, it gets wet, and it just breaks so easy. Look, I'm hardly pulling that. It just breaks so easy. So if you do buy one of these tents with the string, put your own string or get some proper string. Like hay baling twine is probably going to work a lot better. What's this pipe and Kamala Harris got in common? Nothing. The pipe's a lot smarter. Oh, it's getting humid. Just pull in these pins at the top. So inside there's these pins that hold everything together. So it's just a question of pulling them and releasing it and letting it drop down a bit. There we go. Just so it's not catching in the hole, which is right where my finger is, right there, and not letting it slip back in. Alright, let's get the others done. And the only reason I'm not leaving the tent up is because in previous years, this is the third tent I've had. So we've gone through 2 other ones, and they both got damaged in heavy winds from Typhoon. And that's what seems to be happening with Typhoon number 10, which I'll put the map here, the updated map. You saw the map in the previous video, and this is where it's at now, and it looks like it's going up and down. It's like a ball, it's bouncing around, which is very unusual. So, and these tents are not cheap. Even if you buy them on Amazon, they're not cheap. So anyway, it's down. You see it's getting windier now. So let's get this done. Despite it being a lot cooler today, it's still humid and I'm sweating. Pull down on the centre parts, and I believe got to do this bit by bit. Pull it down towards you. Ooh. That's got me sweating a bit. You see the sweat on my forehead. I can't see very well in the camera, it's still too bright out. Yeah, there's my yard. And until last year, we've been here now 4 years. And just last year I put all this down, and you can see got weeds growing from the edges. I'm actually going to put some weed killer down today. You can see how it's all worn out from the kids running around, and there's some potholes over there that need to be filled in, but I'll do all that when it's a lot cooler weather. And my little vegetable area, which doesn't have any vegetables in it right now, well, a bit of what we call shiso, which I really love, wrapped around sushi. Some, I think that's mint. What is that one? Oh no, that is what do you call that now? Not broccoli. Basil. That's a basil plant. Some onions there. They're very, very small, wild onions. Got a few of those plants growing. We actually don't eat them. I think we did once, and they're alright, but they're just really tiny. And one tomato plant. This soil is all fresh down this year, and not making any attempt to grow anything this year. Last year we had all cucumbers and tomatoes and everything growing along here. We had a lot of vegetables the last few years actually, but what most gardeners don't tell you, or they forget to mention, is that you have to renew the soil every other year, otherwise the veggies just don't grow. So now I'm going to put all this in there, just store it all up there, and then I'll shut these doors before the rain hits, and we're done. So yeah, I'll give you a quick view of the house. Beautiful neighbourhood. That house unfortunately is abandoned now. You can see it says Mega Milk. It used to be a milk distribution place, and unfortunately the guy died, and nobody knew for a long time. That's his car. It's just been sitting there for the last 4 or 5 years, going to waste. Lovely little car. I'd love to get my hands on that. I would actually like to get that car, clean it up, get it working, and donate it to somebody who really needs it. And our neighbours. So you can see it's a nice neighbourhood for Japan, and we have a lot of space for the kids. That's what we wanted, was space for the kids to grow up around in. A lot of houses, even this size, don't even have like this much yard around the house. That's about as much as some places get, or maybe just a little bit. Like if you imagine the half there, they might be lucky to get that much. But we got this for a really, really good deal. I think it was the house itself, 14 million yen, because it was 3 years old. The previous owner had it built, and then his wife didn't want to live here anymore. She wanted to go and live with her mother in another town a few miles down the road. So it came up for sale, and then like in Japan, if you buy a house, you pay for the house and the ground separately. I don't remember how much the ground was, but I think the total price was, like including the ground and after taxes and everything, was around, and plus this, was around 22 million yen. So still a pretty good deal, and we're happy with it. Marika wants a bigger house. She lived in America for a couple of years, so I can understand why she wants a bigger house, but for what it is, it's good for us. And I'm getting on in years, so I don't really want to get into another mortgage debt. Not at my age. I'll be 57 next month, for those of you that are wondering. So yeah, anyway, I'll get this lot tidied up and go and take a quick shower and get freshened up. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get the weed killer and spray around the yard. But thanks for watching. It's still very, very hot. Somebody asked me on the last video, how do Japanese laborers stay cool? They do have a lot of undergarments that help keep them cool, like you saw in one of my videos. If I remember which one it is, I'll put it up here. And so I have a lot of undergarments and sprays and stuff that you can spray on. It will like give you that feeling that you're cool, feeling cool. And they have these jackets, the fans in the sides. They just blow air around your body and whatnot. But if it's hot outside, basically all you're doing is just blowing hot air through your body. Just keeps you dry, I suppose. But they're not as expensive as they used to be, but the batteries are still expensive, like about $200, 20,000 yen. But yeah, it's one of the things, you get used to the heat. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.